This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire, stop all that. The Truefire All Access membership, they've brought the price down for March Madness, they're calling it. So the cheapest you can get it any time of year is $99. It beats the codes that I normally tell you about. So I just wanted to shout that out here. So you get All Access membership for $99 for the year. You know, get into your Tim Millers, your Robin Fords, there's Larry Carlton stuff on there, there's Eric Johnson stuff on there. Like, all of our favourite players seem to have Truefire courses. Check that out. March Madness, it's mad. One of the questions that I kind of get asked a fair amount is about like fluency on the fretboard and this sort of stuff, and how you get from playing scales to playing melody. And I think I just was scrolling through Instagram, saw a John Scofield clip, and I think there's something about how the pros practice scales that we should maybe take on board. Now this is going to be like a lesson. I'll put the tabs for this up on Patreon, but you know, spend some time on this. It's not something that I can really show you properly in a video. I can demonstrate how I do it, and it's something that you're going to have to put your hands on the guitar and actually figure out, I guess. So what we're going to do, I think most of us learn scales something like this. And sometimes we might even do things like this. This sort of thing where we're joining up lots of positions in the major scale. Now, that's fine, but I think then people are a bit like, well, that sounds like a scale because you're just playing up and down scale. Now, a thing that, as a piano player, you get into fairly early on, I think maybe like grade 5, grade 6, you start to do different things that maybe involve intervals and maybe involve patterns through a scale. So what I wanted to show you today was a little thing that John Scofield did, which I think really gives the game away in terms of showing how you could do something interesting through the scale. So I'm going to show you this pattern that I've actually been sort of playing around with since just before Elodie was born. So that's what we get. So we go. So we're moving like an intervallic thing. So we're going down a sixth, then a 2, back up a 6, down 2, 6, and they're all diatonic, which means they're within the scale. So you could think about this as a C major, right? So, two things we could do. We could either stay in the same key and just move that through all the positions. So this is, you know, after you've got some comfortability over what's going on there. So you could then move up. So you now see we're in a position here. So we're starting now on the D. Missed it all. So this is a good warm up too. Okay, keep going up. Whee, there we go. So what happened there was that my fingers, my eyes were not connected, and I wasn't seeing the C major pattern correctly all over the fretboard. So then one more. And then actually one more. So what I've just done there is more difficult than it looks. I've moved a piece of patternistic material into every available mode of C major. And that is one way we could think about that. Or we could think about it as just being playing from every available position of C major. Right, now another thing that we could do is keep C as our root for all of this and think about this in a modal context. So we're going to start on C every time. So got our C ionian. Then we could do like a C dorian. So this is where it gets a bit more difficult. So C dorian to me I view as like the second mode of B flat major. So so there we get one. Okay, then we could think about it as C phrygian. So C phrygian for me I think about as the third mode of A flat major. So it would go like this. Okay, and then we get C lydian. So I think about that as the fourth mode of G major. So like this. Okay, so we get that one. Then C mixolydian, so I think about this as the fifth mode of F major. So we get this kind of thing. Okay, and then C aeolian, the sixth mode of E flat major. Let's try and get that a bit cleaner. I'm kind of racing through this because my dad is going to come and help me cut a tree in a minute. Right, and then C locrian. You get this kind of thing, right? Seventh degree of flat major. So what we've done there, like I was saying, we started to think about, first of all, like a pattern in a scale, right? We put it in a home of C. Then we transformed it. We thought, well, we could play that starting from any point of the C major scale in a different position. And it's really, really, you know, testing, do you know these parts of the neck and do you know these shapes at all? And then we could start to think, actually, right, what if I apply some more modal thinking, so C Lydian. Can I start to do that? What, you know, C Dorian again. It's gone now. I really have to think quite hard about some of this stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's just really solid. What about mixolydian again? So you can do a certain amount of it from muscle memory and stuff, but it is also really testing your sort of ability to see this stuff on the fretboard. So I think that's a really useful thing. I've just noticed John Scofield literally played that phrase through a scale, and I'm sure that that's something that he's practiced. And he talks about this, sort of highlighted your intervallic options. So when you're playing in C minor, C aeolian, whoops, there's a balls up. Starting to see. So now I'm still thinking C Lydian, but I'm starting up here on the E. So I'm just thinking now about this is G major, as C Lydian is the fourth mode of G major. So you could get a lot of quality stuff to practice out of that. So I hope that was okay to talk about. I just saw that and I thought maybe that could be something that some of you guys find sort of useful. Again, it's something that you're going to have to sit down with and really if you like the sound of that, just figure out what it is and then just sit down and start putting some of the hard yards into it if you have time. I think it's the sort of thing that I practiced and I wish I practiced more, and I think it really does unlock some different sounds and some different shapes into your fingers that if you don't practice these just won't be there. And I think they can really unlock some interesting sounds, you know, even if it's not that you're doing the whole shape, it's more that your fingers know these as an option when you're playing, for example, in C Lydian. It's like, well, okay, I could go, you know, and fluff it up like that. I hope that's useful. I'll catch you in another video soon and go cut a tree. Cheers for stopping by.